Apparently, there's this new pair of headphones that are really making a headline on Shopee and also TikTok. So it really caught my attention, so I went to Shopee and went down on the review comment section, and everyone's been saying that it's nothing but terbaik. The headphones we're talking about is the Baseus H1 Bowie. But this time around, we'll be doing things a little bit differently because we're not gonna do a straightforward review. We will be comparing it with the top dogs in the headphone industry, and we're talking about the Sony WH-1000XM5 and the JBL Tune 760NC. Will this headphone stand a chance? Let's figure it out!
Shopee Review, we check for you.
Now, of course, when it comes to sound profile, Sony never disappoints, right? You get that perfectly balanced mids and highs and a little bit of pump on the bass, which I personally like because of the fact that it kind of reminds me that I'm in a club, if you might say that way. But you guys don't have to worry about all of that because you have the ability to customize the EQ when you download the headphone app. And on top of that, it even goes to an extent where it analyzes your ear canal and your ear shape. So that's always a plus point worth mentioning as well. When it comes to ANC, Sony offers nothing but the best, right? And the reason why I said that is because whenever I switch on the ANC mode, all you'll be hearing is the media that you choose to listen to. You'll be getting complete silence. Literally everything was blocked off from the outside. And not only it's the best ANC, it is also by far the smartest ANC headphone that I have ever used. I have this perfect situation the other day. I was walking around with this headphone on with the ANC on, right? And then I stopped by the side of the road to tie my shoes, and what happened was the transparency mode detected and it switched on. That was really good to make me be more wary of my surroundings. They also have this feature they call speak to chat. Whenever you're using this headphone, talking with someone, the mic on this headphone will actually notice that and pick it up, and it will pause the music and switch on the transparency mode as well. Now that is a smart headphone. I can share with you guys on screen what it actually sounds like, but I do believe everyone here behind the cameras can actually do a little bit of magic and replicate that sound for you guys. So let's go ahead with that one. Now when it comes to comfort, out of all these three headphones that I'll be testing, Sony by far offers the best. Despite having a huge head myself, whenever I use this on, it actually is really comfortable on the top of my head. You don't feel the ear cups clamping, there's no pressure. Even after an extensive period of time, you won't feel any ear fatigue. Well, at least for me. So other than the fact that it's probably by far the best sounding ANC headphone, a plus point that is worth mentioning is the app. It allows so much control and customization over it. There's this thing called adaptive sound control. So it's currently detecting that I'm on a state of staying. You have the ability to change the EQ. I currently go by the default one, which is already perfect enough for me. So there's many things that you can do within the app. But do bear in mind that this headphone is indeed a high-end headphone. So it's a little bit more on the pricier side. This model, particularly the black ones, they are a little bit of a fingerprint magnet. You won't have the same issue with the white or the gray model. Currently on Shopee, it is priced at 1,299 ringgit. However, you might want to check it occasionally because there might be promotions going on from time to time. So if you're actually interested, I've already included a link down below for you to click on and check it out. What we have here is the JBL Tune 760NC, and the reason why we chose this particular model is because on our review on the JBL Live 660NC, some of you actually requested that we do a review on this particular model. JBL does it again. They never fail to impress when it comes to sound manufacturing, right? Especially knowing that they've been in the industry for a very long period of time. When it comes to sound profile, the mid and treble is pretty well balanced, but the bass packs a little bit of punch. But if you were to compare it to the other two headphones, the bass is cleaner. There are only two modes, which is the ANC on and off. There is no transparency mode, but I think these two modes are sufficient enough when you're outdoor and indoor because it certainly does block all the surrounding sound. However, I do think that it will not outperform the ANC feature on the Sony headphones. Now in terms of comfort, these are really surprisingly good because they managed to include this padding on top of the headband, which causes less pressure on top of your head, and also these ear cups, really soft. And this headphone is the lightest among all 3 headphones that we have here today. But I have a problem. It's because I have a big head. Because whenever I use them, and after a long period of time, I do feel a little bit of a pressure going on around my cheeks. But on a short period of time, it's actually really comfortable. According to JBL, the 760 ANC has a battery life that can last up to 35 hours. Do bear in mind that this headphone, you are unable to connect it with the JBL Headphone app, which means there's no customization going on for your EQ. But if there's something that I would want to give to JBL as a plus point, is the fact that it is a lot more portable compared to the other 2 headphones right here. Because you can fold it, which means it'll consume less space in your backpack. On Shopee, this headphone is 569 ringgit, and if you're interested, link is down below. On to the next one. Now the reason why this 199 ringgit headphone is making such headline on Shopee and TikTok is, well, look at it. It's pretty, it feels premium, and most definitely, it's fashionable. Now we've clearly established these 2 different tiers of headphones, which is the Sony and the JBL. Let's see if these Baseus actually stand a chance against those 2 big dogs. The sound profile of the Baseus is definitely a lot muddier compared to the other 2 headphones that we have been talking about, which is the Sony and the JBL. Over time it kind of grows on you. It's comfortable to the ear, less intrusive overall. So kudos to Baseus for actually making an affordable, premium looking ANC headphone. And that is where it gets interesting. Just like most high-end headphones, Baseus managed to include 3 different modes on this headphone right here. ANC on and off, and also transparency mode. The ANC works really well, but because the fact that this headphone is not as loud as the other 2, it does have some problems trying to block out all the loud noises from your surroundings. So if you want to go for a walk or a run or a jog at the park, this is where the transparency mode does its magic. But you have to remember, this is indeed a budget headphone. The mic quality is lower, so it will pick up thinner ambient sound. Now I gotta give it to the Baseus because for including an ANC feature on this headphone. But if you are looking for the best ANC headphone, then you might want to look into JBL or Sony. When it comes to comfort on these headphones, it's definitely on the heavier side because if you look at it, these are actual steel for the extension, so it definitely adds a little bit of weight. The ear cups are soft to the touch and also the headbands are padded. For me, it fits perfectly with no issues at all, but I did told some of my friends to give it a try, and what they noticed was there were a little bit of pressure right below their ears. Personally, it's a lot more comfortable compared to the JBL, but it's not as comfortable as the Sony. Now, there are 2 things that I genuinely really love about this Baseus headphone. Starting off with the simplicity in terms of design. You don't get a lot of buttons, so you get the volume rocker, multifunctional key, and also the ANC buttons right here. You will be also getting a 70-hour battery life, which is double from what we get on the JBL and the Sony, which is pretty impressive. And these headphones have app support, which allows you to change the functions of the key and also use Baseus preset for audio, and you can also customize your EQ up to your liking. All that for 199 ringgit? I think that's pretty impressive. Now, before we conclude, let's have a quick recap of each and every single one of these headphones. Starting off with the Sony. We all know where Sony belongs when it comes to audio. For the audio enthusiasts, if you like to tweak, if you like to personalize your headphone with really good ANC, Sony is by far the best ANC headphones that are available in the market right now. But if you're only looking for good sound without the frills of tweaking and customizing, JBL might just be for you as well. So to answer the question, is this Baseus H1 Bowie comparable to these 2 different levels of headphones? Of course not. But listen to me. I understand why people would want to get this headphone because first of all, it looks really pretty. It's a premium looking headphone and it's a fashion statement. Also on top of that, it is also a lot easier on the wallet. Say for example, you're looking for a brand new headphones that you want to get. ANC headphones, this is one of the options that you might want to consider. And there you have it, the final verdict of comparing these 3 different levels of headphones. Which one's for you? We'll leave that one up to you. If you're interested in getting any of these 3 headphones, be sure to check out the links down below. I would recommend you guys to check it out very often because there might be some deals happening from time to time. If you love electronics, be sure to head on to the electronic zone where we curate some of the best deals and electronics available on Shopee. Now do remember to leave a like, share, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our future videos as well. I've been your host, Brian Latipa, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.